Hello, my lovelies. How would you feel if I keep saying a few sentences like I walk into the room, I walked in the park, I walked to school, and I always cover the distance by walking? Did you feel anything? Did you observe something? Well, here I repeated the word walk in all these sentences. You know what? The native speakers rarely stick to just one word. They choose different words depending on how someone walks. So, in today's video, I will teach you around 15 powerful alternatives to the word walk, along with their meanings, easy examples, and a quick memory trick so you will never forget them. So, grab your notebook and let's level up your vocabulary. Let's begin with our first alternative. This is stroll. Repeat, stroll. What does it mean? Well, it means to walk slowly and in a relaxed manner. Because when we walk slowly and in a relaxed manner, it means we are enjoying ourselves, right? Imagine yourself that you are on a beach during sunset and you are not in a hurry and you are simply enjoying the moment. So, that time when you are walking in this situation on a beach, then you can use this word stroll and you can say something like this: I'm strolling along the beach after dinner. Next up is wander. Say wander, not wonder. This is a word many people get confused with. This is wander, all right? It means, again, to walk, but without any particular destination. So, means there is no particular, I would say, a point. There is no location where you wanted to go. You are just exploring. That's why you are walking. So maybe you have entered a huge shopping mall without a shopping list. As I told you, without any purpose, when you are walking, that is wandering. So in this case, you can say you are simply wandering in the mall. All right. So walking without any fixed destination or purpose. There is another example. You can say she wandered through the old markets for hours, and that's what we generally do. Like we ladies, when we go to the market, open market, we just keep wandering here and there, right? Now, can you think of the last time you wandered somewhere? Tell me in the comments right now. Here is the third alternative to the word walk: roam. Say roam. Great. This roam is similar to wander, but usually it is used over when you walk over a much larger area. Then you can say the word roam, all right? For instance, animals often roam freely in a very large space and area, right? So that is roam. Another example: suppose there is a lion and the lion is roaming freely in the national park, all right? So that is roam. And you can also say, I love roaming around new cities. Okay, that is roam. So next time when you are going for a walk to a large space, so instead of saying walk, use this word roam. Here we go to the next word. This is stride. Stride. You know, when you use this word, you sound really confident. So stride means to walk with long, confident steps. So when you take long steps with confidence, then you can say stride. So imagine a CEO entering a meeting. So how would he be entering, he or she? With the long steps with confidence, right? Or a winner walking onto a stage. That winner will also be feeling confident. That's stride. For instance, he strode. Strode is the past form of stride. So he strode confidently into the conference room. Did you notice? Here we did not use the word walk. Instead, strode, or you can say stride. It changes according to the tense. The next word is March, not the month. We are talking about walk. March. This one is quite easy to understand, and you might have already uh, got the idea what march I'm talking about. So here march means to walk with firm, regular steps. There is some sort of regularity, some sort of discipline while walking. And usually soldiers march, right? You know, but protesters can also march. It's not like it links with the soldiers only. Example, the soldiers marched across the field. Moving on to the next word. This one is hike. Hike. Yes. If you just love nature, you will truly love this word, hike. Why? Because hike means to take a long walk, especially in the mountains or forests. So there we go for a long walk, right? That is hiking, hike. For instance, we hiked to the top of the mountain. Did you ever go on hiking? Well, I went. And not every long walk is a hike. It usually happens in nature. So that is hike when it happens in nature or you are walking through the forest. So there, for a long walk, you can use this term hike. Next word. Here, it is track. Track. Now some people might misuse these words or interchange these words, right? But this is a little different than the previous one. So imagine something even more difficult. So hiking is just a long walk. There is not that much struggle or difficulty. But when you talk about track, it is longer and more challenging than a hike. All right. So that is trekking or track. Example, they tracked through the Himalayas. So when we track, no, there is difficulty. So people who have been to Kedarnath or some other uh, mountain areas or hilly areas, so then you can easily relate. So the difference is hike is enjoyable long walk. On the other hand, track is difficult long journey. So that is the easy difference. That is trekking and hiking. Next, we have the word trudge. Repeat. Trudge. Yes, this is trudge. So what is it? Have you ever been so tired that every step felt heavy? Has this ever happened with you that you were like, oh God, I can't even walk properly? So that type of walking is trudge. That is trudge. All right. So, example, after working all day, he trudged home, right? That is trudging. You can use this in this way. The old man trudged towards the door. All right. So that is trudge. So next we have this word tiptoe. Tiptoe. And this is one of my favorites. This one is really fun. Tiptoe means walking on your toes quietly. All right. So you are walking on your toes in this way. The walk is something like this. All right. So this is tiptoe. Imagine you trying not to wake a sleeping baby. So there is a baby who is sleeping and you do not want the baby to get up. So how will you be walking in that case? Obviously, you will be tiptoeing in that way, right? So you can say she tiptoed into the room, or I always tiptoe when I find a baby sleeping. So everybody tiptoed, right? And think about your self, think about yourself that when was the last time you tiptoed and in which situation? Let me know in the comment. This is limp. Limp. So this word is used if someone has hurt their leg and they don't walk normally. All right. So then in that way you can say limp. I usually limp whenever I have pain in my legs. So limp. Extreme pain I'm talking about. Another sentence, he limped after twisting his ankle. All right. So that is limp, which is very simple and useful. Limp when you're not able to walk properly because you are hurt. The next word I have for you is stagger. Stagger. Now imagine someone is extremely tired, dizzy, or injured. Okay. So in that case, they don't walk straight. They stagger. Okay. So the people who are hurt, who are feeling dizzy, so they can't walk normally. So in that way, you can say they stagger. For instance, the exhausted runner staggered across the finish line. The runner was exhausted. So just imagine how would he be walking. So that walk is stagger. Saunter. Say Saunter. This is another one of my favorite words. Saunter means walking slowly with confidence and style. Have you ever seen anybody sauntering? Almost as if you are walking like you own the place. That is saunter. For instance, he sauntered into the cafe with a smile. And I have seen a lot of Priyanka Chopra's interview, and I have seen her coming up on the stage, and she always saunters whenever she turns up on the stage. And that sounds elegant, doesn't it? And here, the last word in the list is pace. Pace. Have you ever walked back and forth while waiting for an interview call? Or maybe you are expecting your exam just in a couple of minutes? That is pace. When you are just walking back and forth. Example, she paced around the room before the exam. So pacing is like this. When you walk in this way, and you are tensed, you are worrying about something, that is pace. So many people pace when they are nervous, especially. Do you? I pace most of the time when I feel nervous. Here is a bonus word for you. This is sneak, which means moving secretly. But usually there is a purpose, that is sneaking. So maybe you are trying not to get caught. That's why. Remember, we just did tiptoeing, tiptoe. Sneak is like that. Okay. But you are walking with a purpose so that nobody can see you. Example, the children sneaked out of the house. And you know what happens with me? Whenever I try to make my son sleep, I sleep and he sneaks out of the room. So that's what he does. Now you tell me, have you ever sneaked into the kitchen for midnight snacks or for having ice creams midnight? Well, I did it in my childhood days. What about you? So that's all for today's video. Now I am sure that you might have forgotten a lot of words that you have just learned. So let's revise quickly. For relaxed walking, you can use the word stroll and saunter. And if you are walking without any destination, then you can use wander and roam. Next, a confident walk that can be described with this word stride and march. All right. So we talked about march. There is another word stride that you can use in place of march. And if your walk is full of adventure, then there is a word hike and trek. A walk which is tiring, tired walking, then you can say the word trudge, trudge. Quiet walking, when you do not want other people to know that you are there. Okay, you do not want to make other people feel your presence. So that is tiptoe and sneak, quiet walking. The next up is injured walk. So here you can say the word limp or stagger. The next up is walking back and forth. There is a word for that, and this is pace. So when you are walking back and forth, then instead of saying walk, say pace, a better word. So this is how we have just covered learning more than 15 words. So now I have a challenge for you. I want you to write a few sentences or just write a one sentence using one of your favorite alternatives to walk. For example, you can write something like, yesterday I strolled in the park with my friends. If you enjoy this lesson and learn something new, then do not forget to like this video and subscribe to Learn English with Priyanka Chaudhary, and share this video with somebody who also like to sound natural while speaking English. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, keep learning, keep speaking, and keep growing. Bye.